Welcome to the Collage Podcast, a production of Feed My Sheep. Feed My Sheep is a nonprofit in Temple, Texas that has a goal of feeding people that are hungry physically, spiritually, and emotionally. In this podcast, we discuss Scripture, and our hope is that you would be fed spiritually through the reading and discussing of His Word. We're glad you're here.
Hey, we want to welcome you to another edition of the Collage Podcast. We are glad to have everybody here today. Today, we have a special group here. We kind of look around here. Well, no, if you're listening to this, you can't look around here. But we have a group here that is serving at Feed My Sheep today. And what we're going to do is let's quickly kind of introduce ourselves so the people know who they are listening to. So, Chili, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
I'm Allison.
I don't know what else.
Hey, where
This
are you
is
from?
Allison.
I'm from
What
San
else?
Angelo, Texas.
San Angelo, Texas.
I'm in the Johnson Street Youth Group, and we're just here to serve others.
Very nice. So, Allison, tell me more what to say. Chili on her shirt from San Angelo. Okay, good.
My name is Liam Allen. I'm also from San Angelo, and we're just here to serve the community. It's great to be here.
What a coincidence. Wow. Okay, two from San Angelo. Wow. Okay.
I think I'm going to make it 3.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm Sam. I'm from San Angelo. I'm one of the adult sponsors, campus minister at Johnson Street Church of Christ, and have had the joy of hanging out with all these awesome students. These are just 2 of our students. The rest are downstairs working. Not that we're not working, but love being here. I'm from San Angelo, and I don't have chili on my shirt.
Okay, and just for clarity, just for everybody out there watching, are you or are you not an undercover narcotics agent?
Not a cop.
Okay.
Texas Ranger baseball team, not a police officer.
We are joking about that because a lot of people that we were working with today thought he was an undercover Texas Ranger.
I've never had. That's a first for me, and I don't know if I was impressed or concerned, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay, so we just have said, Chili, you said a sentence that is intriguing to me. We're just going to start from that place. You said, we're here to serve other
Yes.
people. What in the world?
Well, we got this opportunity to come and come to Temple, Texas, obviously, and we it was an opportunity for all of the youth group, and I saw that, and I just thought that would be awesome. I wanted to come help other people.
Why?
I felt called to come. Personally, I love to just come and I love to serve other people. I love to do anything like that in San Angelo, like whatever opportunities I get to do there. That's something I really feel called to do, help other people in any way I can.
Okay, very nice. Tell me about why you're here. And y'all are on summer break,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
And y'all are, imagine you're sacrificing time to come to serve people that you might not ever see again. Okay, so that's a little bit illogical for people to understand, to go, you're never going to see these people again. You might not even come back to Temple again, but y'all come here to serve and to give up your time and finances and such like that for people that you may never see again. Why?
Well, I think that as Christians, I think we're called to do these things. I think it's a really important part of our faith. And whenever it comes to serving these people, we may never see them again, but I think the relationships we make, last a long time.
Agreed.
Definitely the impact that we leave on others, it will be way past us. Something much bigger than ourselves.
Very profound sentence. Wow. That's very good. Okay, why did you bring your group here?
Well,
Besides trying to find undercover narcotics deals.
outside of that, I think, I got the chance to do this and bring students, and I have a lot of admiration for our students who have given up a week of summer to come hang out with people. And There have been some long days already, and today is one of those long days for us. So we've worked them hard, but I think, kind of as Liam said, like we're sort of called to do this. I mean, this is foundational to what Jesus calls us into. To be servants is kind of one of the first things that we should consider if we follow Jesus. And so I think it's almost what we're supposed to do, right? To step out of where we're comfortable into the lives and situations of people that we may not know, and kind of put ourselves in a position to hear and listen and understand who they are, and then to give them. So we may give people food, but what we're also hoping to do is give them an insight into who God is, who Jesus is, and why he matters, what's important about that relationship.
Okay, very good. And I would agree, and so what a blessing to understand the truth, and so we would say here, the faith that we believe in is we believe in Christianity. Okay, so then we would denote that. And what I like at an early age for you to realize, because we kind of try to complicate it a little bit in society, and you go, oh, it means this, and then Jesus himself, he said, what? I didn't come to be served, I came to serve others. And I came so that others should have life and life abundantly. And those are such a difficult thing. There's no precursor to them. I come to serve those I like. I come to serve those I know. It says I come to serve. And so we can kind of look. So I think it's really neat to go look at a bunch of young people coming here. We're serving for the simple sake of other people matter, and that God put us here on this planet to impact and to be an impact for others in this world, and not to show them us, not to get people to move to San Angelo, even though that is a great place, great deer hunting. Okay, so
amen
to that. I mean, come on, that is.
It's also a little hot there.
It is a little hot.
It's a
Yeah,
touch.
not so much amen in the summer,
hot.
San Angelo.
No.
So, amen in November and December, San Angelo.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hot then too.
Why do you think it's so difficult? Oh, okay, let me ask you this. Okay, so do not take offense to what I say this. I'm old. A lot of times people my age would look at your generation, y'all are younger, and say, this is one of the most selfish generations that our world has ever seen. Go ahead.
I would say that you definitely do see a lot of that, but there's also a lot of people that you don't see that really are willing to help others and they want to make a difference.
Okay. Tell me, Liam.
I feel like being selfish, especially because of social media and all these factors that are put in, you don't really see the other side of these kids who are, like Allison said, actually trying to make a difference in society. And they're just trying their best to live up to, our parents and our grandparents, people who have come before us.
I would have taken great offense to my sentence, okay, because, Reddy, the most selfish, not even necessarily generation, the most selfish person that I actually should know is me. We're all very selfish, and we all have motivations that drive us that are very selfish, and it's like this. I would agree. You'd go, well, Jeff, how can you say that? We're here. We're serving other people. And I'd go, you're right.
Yeah.
And then your motivation behind it, you're serving because Christ showed us this is how we're supposed to be. And so I do think it is very brilliant, and I do think, like here, that these kind of activities, this is where the world changes. We are not going to change the world, but these glimpses of, in my world, I know I see the people, they're going to go, now, why did they come from San Angelo to serve us today? Huh? Well, because they felt called to do that. And we're going to have to come back to that world. Tell me, people out there might be listening to this and going, called? Like on the telephone? Like on a cell phone? What in the world does it mean, I feel I was called?
By that, I mean that I feel like God was speaking to me and telling me that I should go and I should do this just to purely help other people.
Great. Liam, does that word sound foreign to you, called?
I can definitely sympathize with the people who don't understand. It really doesn't quite make that much sense to me. I don't really think it's not a physical thing that happens, but I think spiritually, definitely, you kind of feel God like telling you to do something. Like this in specific circumstance is very out of my comfort zone, so it's good to, I may not have wanted to do this, but I feel like God was calling me to do this and serve other people.
Okay. Tell me the greatest part of working with young people and why, because anybody who survives in this world, okay, tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm not a youth minister. I've got the joy of sponsoring this trip, but I am not the youth minister.
Okay.
Our youth minister was preoccupied this week, so we have a couple other adult sponsors. But I serve as the campus minister at our church, so I still work with a younger generation, and I've been doing it now for about to start year 9. And one of the things I have seen the most with the younger generation is simply that, you asked the question, self-centered, selfish generation. And yeah, I mean, I think there's that in every generation. I think that every generation has its stereotypes, but this generation is passionate. I can say for certain that a younger generation is passionate about what they believe. When we talk about young Christians, I think they take very seriously what it means to step out of where they're at and serve people. I've always felt that young people are driven to organizations that do tangible good in a community. So churches that are actively doing tangible good, young people are drawn to. And I think that's what's really cool about this generation is, there's the creation of cell phones has sort of changed the world, not just a younger generation either, that older generations are controlled by cell phones as well. But the fact that we have a younger generation, though, they've grown up with access to information, still care about people. They still look at people and feel empathy and feel care and feel drawn to loving them. And I believe that if you follow Jesus and you do what he says, and he says to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and the second is love your neighbor as yourself, I think we do that because we have felt so much loved by God that we have no other choice but to love other people. And I think this generation does a fantastic job of loving people.
Very good. Okay, can I ask you an even harder question?
Sure.
Okay, Chili, why thank you. Okay, I'm curious. When you look at the world that we're in right now, okay, so we are in June, and it's, what year are we, 2024?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I have a hard time with years.
I do
Okay.
too. I always
thank
write the
you.
wrong thing on my papers at school for like the rest of the year.
You want to know something embarrassing? I wrote on a piece of paper the other day. I put the date. I had the date right. It was like June the 8th, 1997. I wrote, I don't know why I put
a long time ago.
1997.
Long time ago.
Like, why 97? And I'm like, what in the world did I just do? I know. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby's giving me some looks. Okay. I deserve it on that. Even I gave myself looks. I'm like, what are you doing? Okay.
That was a long day. It had to have been a long day.
Okay, let me ask you, when you look at the world that we're in, so I'm just saying that June of 2024, there's a whole lot on the plate. Whole lot on the plate right here. When you look at the world, and you're not defining the world, I'm just saying in your own eyes, okay, is the world good or is it bad?
I think that there's definitely a lot of both,
Okay,
but what is mostly seen is the bad, as that's what's really broadcasted. Like when you're watching the news, all you see is the bad stuff. They don't show you the good things that are happening every single day. They just show you all of the little bad things that make the world seem really terrible and really scary.
I'd agree. Liam, what do you think? Is it good or bad?
It's a tough question.
It is very tough, yeah.
I feel like you can't really put a label on it.
Fair.
I think that the world as a whole it's a mix of both, especially now. I mean, there's so much with social media and with like just television, they broadcast the bad. They don't broadcast the good things in the world. And so it's hard to I would say it's a bit more bad than good, because I think nowadays we're getting less and less kind and more selfish, like you said previously. Just it's getting more, but
Okay, and so in the same context of that, we're going to go towards the cousin of good or bad. How hopeful or how unhopeful are you for the future of our world?
Whoa. I feel like I'm always going to have hope for the best.
I
because-
would expect no less. I've known Chili for a big whopping 5 minutes, and if she did not say to me hopeful, because your eyes scream hope. They do.
So I would definitely say it's hopeful, but as people, like every single person needs to really try to make it better. We need to show hopeful.
And how do we do that?
I mean, there's not a one answer to that question. It's just
Wrong.
There's not the answer.
doing good in everything, like just trying to be the best that we can and trying to help anyone like possible whenever we can.
And I did not beep you. Like, I apologize. Liam, what about you?
I mean,
You're
obviously,
going to give me a contemplative answer. I know that.
I do think there's always hope. I think, because I mean, with the amount of technology we have, some people say it's bad, some people say it's good. I think that it's, if we use it properly, and I think if we utilize the amount of knowledge and the amount of like, and how helpful our world has become, like how works, like it's just technology has been such a great help to our society. But I mean, with hope, there is not being hopeful, with us just using that as a crutch and just not using it to its extent. So I think there definitely is always hope. I'd say it's more hopeful.
Okay. And then we're gonna stay on this chapter a little bit. So tell me, hopeful, unhopeful?
I think you have to be hopeful.
Okay.
I mean, you can be discouraged, as we talked about
Okay.
earlier. There's room for discouragement, and there should be. I think it's okay to look at our world and feel sad or discouraged about where we're at. But I think that I'm going to go back to, as a Christian, we can be thankful that we have hope. Jesus gives us all hope for a better future. And so we can sort of, I think that God's work is really restorative. And like we as Christians, our work is to bring hope to the world. And so I think it'd be really hard for Christians to bring hope to the world if we weren't hopeful. And so I think you have to be hopeful. I think you can be discouraged, but I think you have to be hopeful. And if you understand and listen to the story of Jesus, there's a lot of hope to be had.
Agreed.
I would also say,
It wasn't your turn. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding, Chili. Go.
I would also say that a little bit of hope is going to outweigh a whole bunch of doubt, and just
Wow.
it'll outweigh it. It's like one light, a small little light will light up a big dark room, or you'll at least be able to see the light. That little bit of hope will go so much further than a whole bunch of doubt.
Wow.
That's very, very true. Okay, and then so I love that because it's true. I mean, like almost, man, gosh, there ought to be something in the Bible about light and darkness and such like that. That'd be cool if it was in there. It is, but like that. If you are a light on a hill, why would you hide it? Don't hide it under a basket. And you go, and so I like this in our world because we made it. There is a difference in being discouraged and even possibly disappointed. There's some days I look at the world and I see how much hurt and how much, I would even say as far as how much wrong happens to other people, that it's really discouraging. And you look at the world and you go, how can that be? But it doesn't mean I've lost hope and that things are not meant to be like this forever. And then what I look at and I go, I can't imagine, and then like I would say this because people will be listeners that may not have the same faith that we have. I cannot imagine how somebody would try to navigate the world that we're in right now without having a true hope to rely on. That there is truth and there is a hope. And it's not just a hope, like I hope that maybe someday I will do. No, our hope is a truth. I hope and I believe that God is who he said he is. And I hope and I believe that the world is not how God wants it to be. He wants us to be reconciled with him, and then all these lights to come together. And I'm going, I can't imagine navigating this world and going, and it'd be really easy if you did not have that truth to lose belief that there is hope. You know, and then I like what you're saying, Chili, because the hope of this world is for us to acknowledge our dependence on God. And then also that he woke us up today and he has a point and a purpose for us to be alive, to bring light to others. Yeah. Not because he can't do it without us, but he allows us to be part of the beautiful thing that he's painting here. And you go, wow, that's really kind of cool. And I can get up each day going, you know what? The hope that I believe in, it didn't change. I may have been discouraged yesterday, but I still have the true hope. And it's good. And it's good. And it's so easy to look at this world because there is sadness. We can't discount the fact there is sadness. There's a lot of hurt. We can turn on our phone right now. We can look at several things that I would go, I cannot imagine being a young teenager trying to figure out this world that we're in right now and these things that are occurring and try to figure out right or wrong or this or that or all of this thing. Such a complicated world. The information that you'll have so much more than I knew at your age. So much more. Okay, and probably y'all have more information even than I have now as a grown adult because you know how to navigate your phone. But it is so encouraging for us. Ready, we didn't solve the world's problems by y'all being here today. We're going to serve baked potatoes. At the end of the day, anybody who wants to be facetious or pointing out, oh, they did nothing. Okay, they don't get the message of what's going on here. Okay, we didn't give the message. We are an embodiment of a hope that is greater than us. And it's encouraging to see others who believe that. I'm a believer in you. We must stay on that line of, man, if everybody really turned on the light of what hope is about, then these things that we look at that are holding us, they're gone. You know, so, okay. So out of that, tell me what you expect to see today when we serve lunch.
Well, I've been here. This is my second time at Feed My Sheep, and so I have.
How many arrests did you get last time?
0. Still not a cop. Even though, I mean, again, I'm honored. I think. Now, I expect, and this is what we've been telling our students, and I hope you get the chance to talk to some more of them because that would be really cool. I'd love for that to happen. We tell our students, like, there are probably going to be moments you're uncomfortable. And I actually think that's okay. I think that where you're uncomfortable is where you will grow and see Jesus the most. And so, like, I think that, you know, I expect there will probably be some discomfort and some tension. And I hope that kind of happens because I want our students to step out of where they're comfortable and experience Jesus. So knowing that I've been here before and have had that experience, I mean, the people that you interact with they don't look like me. They don't sound like me. They have experiences that I have never had, and yet I think that's what we're called to do, is to sort of hear and listen and to be formed by people's experience. And so that's what I expect. I expect some discomfort, and I expect there to be the presence of God through community. And I think that's what we should all expect through some baked potatoes. I mean, also it's baked potatoes. It's good.
And chili.
And chili. Yeah, chili.
Nice, right there. Yeah. Look at you. Okay, tell me what you're expecting.
Let me think. I am expecting to get to talk to some people.
Good.
Because, I mean,
Because
I'm
you're
gonna
chilly.
talk
That's
to-
what you do.
I'm going to talk to some people. I expect to get to know people from walks of life that I don't think I could even understand. I expect to. What else do I expect? I expect to expand my comfort zone, and I hope that I can do that completely open-mindedly, and just I hope to be open to any opportunity that gets thrown at me.
Whew. I don't know if you want to say that sentence here. That's awesome. I'm just kidding. Liam.
I'm expecting, hopefully, for the people to like the baked potatoes.
Yeah.
Oh, good one.
We spent a while yesterday preparing all the food, and buying it, of course.
We made a large mess too.
Yes, we did. Yes, they did.
Okay.
And of course, like Allison said, I do also want to expand my comfort zone. And I think it's just really impactful to see these people. I'm just never, in San Angelo, it's like a bubble. I mean, there's homelessness in San Angelo, but we're just kind of stuck in this bubble, and it could be like a comfort zone. And so it's nice to get out of that and experience these walks of life. And I'm expecting to see people and talk and interact with these people. And just keep an open mind and just navigate it with an open mind and an open heart.
Okay, one last question for you. Excellent job. You've done an excellent job. Okay. If you were talking, which you are, you're fixing to be talking to other students out there, what would you say to them? Why should they come? Doesn't have to be this place, but wherever you're at, there's places to serve others. Okay, so I'm not saying everybody needs to come here. Great, we'd love to have them. But why should people your age tell them why they should go out and serve other people that maybe they aren't necessarily comfortable with?
I would say my first answer is obviously just that God wants us to help others. But I'd also say that personally, I love just helping people. It makes me happy to see them get things that they need, to see them happy. And at the end of the day, you might not have gotten a lot out of it, but you'll feel good.
There it is.
Liam.
I think it resonates with you. I think whenever it comes to helping people, and on paper, whenever you're looking at it, it doesn't seem like it'd be that helpful, because in this world we live in, everybody's selfish. Like, what are you going to get out of it? But I think opting out of it, it's not really the way to go. I think it's just really, especially if you go with people like in your youth group or just with your family, it's just, you'll make better connections with those people, and you'll grow as a person, I feel, whenever you're helping them. And also you feel great inside as well. It's a great feeling.
Good. Okay, I'm going to say something, and I believe this completely. By what you are doing today, the world will never be the same. Okay, and then that is a fact. And then so what your generation is always about is you want to change the world. You are not satisfied with how the world is, rightfully so. And we may manifest that self in some ways of trying to change it that maybe are not as proactively good, but it's a acknowledgement of we're not satisfied with this world how it is, and we want it to change. Okay, so I will say that even through baked potatoes, that worlds will never be the same by what you're doing today. every moment of our lives, we are forever changing worlds and lives in these things, whether we acknowledge it or don't acknowledge it or realize it or don't realize. Things are occurring. Today, it is such a benefit, and and such a blessing for y'all. You get an opportunity to meet members of your family, okay, because we would acknowledge in the Christian faith that we are all, okay, we all have the same Father, and we're all in the same family. You're going to meet members of your family that you have never met before, and that is a cause for celebration. And we're going to go, wow, I didn't know that person was part of my family. And then the other thing is you're going to go back to San Angelo, and this is a miracle. Like, I mean, it's a miracle that you'll go back to San Angelo, and guess what? You're going to say, I met Smiley, and he was really, really incredible. And I met Mary Ann, and I saw Kevin, and I saw, and here's what they taught me. We met people. And so somebody here, their story, it gets bigger. And then why don't you go meet Kevin? Because I want to serve. And so out of that, that's how the world changes. That's how it's community of believers coming together, acknowledging who is truly part of our family and our obligation to our family members. World changes. World changes, not because I can do anything to change it, because God's love through me is what will change the world. Okay, so I do appreciate having you here. I'm looking forward, because we are fixing to go serve baked potatoes. I'm looking forward to seeing what occurs at lunch. Okay, we're going to serve food. Okay, but you would be amiss if you do not meet every person and get to know some of the stuff and share some of your gifts. I'm looking forward to hearing y'all sing at lunch and sharing your giftedness with others. Oh, yeah, y'all are singing.
Yeah,
We're singing.
We're singing.
Oops, my bad. Plot twist unfolded before that.
We're gonna sing some something.
The first time Chili is not smiling, the whole podcast is right now.
I will be nice and sing quiet.
What's that?
I will be nice and sing quiet.
You don't sing quiet? No.
I'm not good at singing.
Me neither.
So I will tell you this, okay, this moment that we've shared together, this is what it means to serve God. We come in and we smile together, not because we don't know the hardships that we're fixing to go see face to face, not because we are smiling and making light of the situations that we're going to come in contact with that we don't necessarily understand completely. We are not the answer. Guess what? Nobody from San Angelo is coming down here to solve the problems. Nobody from Temple is coming here to solve all the problems. Okay? The hope is that the problems are solved in one place and one place only, and that is God. And what we smile about is that He is allowing us to be part of His greater, beautiful picture He is painting here today. Okay? And so mine, every day I wake up and I'll go, man, this is the only one of these I'll ever have in my entire life. I want to make this of value and good, because I'll never have it back. Today, we hope when we go serve lunch that we will come out of here and go, man, I would not trade anything on this day, because what I did was magnificent. And God was reflected. And we're going to do it. And I do thank y'all. Okay, for old people, sometimes it's nice to have younger people come and remind us there is hope in this world. Because we can get so caught up in going, man, there's no hope. You know, everything is just a fight. And then there is a lot of fight. But our hope is not in the younger generation. The hope is not in my generation. The hope is not in this generation. The hope is not in the government. The hope is not. The hope is that God is who He says He is. And that's a truth. So, thank you for bringing a smile to me. Sorry about your shirt, Chili. The Stuco 2023 shirt is now stained.
It's okay. It's the 2023 one. That's all right.
Yeah, 2023 Stuco. Chip, chip, cheerio. Okay, so we do appreciate y'all being here. We're going to go serve lunch. And we cannot say enough what it means to our people the little message that somebody would be willing to come from San Angelo, Texas to Temple, Texas, just because they wanted to serve people. And what we say every day here at Feed My Sheep is we say this simple thing: people matter.
That's right.
They matter.
Amen.
Not because I say it, because God himself says it. And so I thank you for giving them a glimpse that they matter. So let's go serve some baked potatoes.
do it.
Let's go do it.
Hey, we want to welcome you back. So we tried something new today. We want to welcome you to part 2 of our podcast. So we have the group from San Angelo. We just now have left, and we served lunch at Feed My Sheep. So that occurred. So now we have a new group that's going to talk to us and kind of maybe give them their opinion of what they just experienced here. So before we do that, so people can kind of know who the voice goes with what person, so we're just going to start and we'll just introduce ourselves as much as you would like. So do you mind starting us?
Yeah, my name is Briley. I just finished my freshman year at Lubbock Christian, and that's about all you need to know about me.
Why, thank you, Briley.
My name is Micah. I'm from here, Temple. I'm in junior high, and happy to be here with all of these San Angelo kids. It's awesome.
Well, thank you, Micah.
My name's Hayden. I'm from San Angelo, going into my senior year of high school at Central, and happy to be here, I guess.
Well, good. So that's kind of our introduction. We have that out of the way. So we have 2 people. So, Micah, you're really going to have to step up to the plate because you're representing the Temple crowd. I'm just messing with you. We got them tied 2-2 because I'm Temple as well. Okay, so what we've got here, and I'm going to ask just some questions because I would say, first off, just to kind of give me a point of reference, y'all are all students at we have college, junior high, high school. Very nice. Why in the world are you giving up time out of your summer to come serve people that you might possibly, we already asked the first group this, but I'm going to ask y'all, so we have a point of reference, to come serve a group of people that San Angelo group may never see them again. Why in the world did you come here and give up your time this summer and sacrifice that to come serve people that you may never see again?
Well, our youth minister back home was struggling to find a adult female leader to take on the trip. And so he texted me and he said, "Hey, want to go to Temple?" And I was like, "Sure." I didn't know a single thing about it at all.
Fair.
I really didn't know much about what we would be doing until the day we left. But I was talking with Roy about this, that ministry has been a very important theme in my life recently, and I feel called to serve, and I'm working really hard to have a servant's heart and do what I can, do my part to, better God's kingdom. And yeah, it was an opportunity to be a leader and step foot into a leadership role, which I've never really done before. And, an opportunity to get outside my comfort zone and meet new people, meet a new community of people I've never, been around before. And yeah.
I'm going to ask, and we're going to, no, I'm not going to ask you yet. So
Okay.
say, Jeff, remember the question you were going to ask
Okay.
me. So we're going to go. So tell me, what about y'all? Why are we here? So give me a junior high perspective and a high school perspective. Well, why are we willing to give up time out of our summer? Y'all should be playing like video games and such like that at the house rather than being up here. It's hot. Why?
Well, for one, I do enjoy having all this free time during the summer, but sometimes it is kind of you do lack that being with other people and being with these amazing new friends that I've made. It's great. Also, when Roy, my dad, talked about it or told me about this, I was I don't really have a choice, to be honest. But yeah, happy to wake up at 7. So
Hey, that happens when you're the kid of a minister. That never goes away.
it's true.
You're always voluntold to do things, but it's a good life to live.
Hey, and just for point of reference, I am not laughing at you. Your answer is spot on. Right. I'm just chuckling because I have kids that were in the same boat. Like, because I did the obligatory ask, but the answer really didn't matter because I already knew before the question was posed what the answer was going to be. Hey, would you want to come help us on the mission trip coming up? Okay, thanks. So, great. Okay, tell me, Hayden.
Well, as not a minister's kid, I did have a say in this, first off. But mostly I came here because, I guess, a couple reasons. One, I've always really enjoyed mission trips. Like, I've tried to go on them every chance I get. So I always enjoy just going out to make a difference and have some fun. And I also, I wanted something to kind of break up the endless summer days of doing the same thing. Waking up late, doing nothing basically all day, going to sleep. It was too good.
Yeah.
But overall, I just wanted something to break it up and have some fun, meet some new people, do something new for a little bit.
I'm going to tell. I'll give you. Here's a little glimpse of the future. I will give you something that will break up those monotonous days of summer, and it's going to be called turning in your sometime point of 20s, and it's called a job. And they go way away. Those. I wonder what I'm going to do today. Nothing. No. So. Out of this, okay, so Bradley, okay, here's the question that I had for you. Bobby and I were talking about this from the other podcast, and then we're going to get back what we're talking about. Is there a difference in this sentence? Because I'd never thought the profound weight of this sentence. Is there a difference in expanding your comfort zone and stepping out of your comfort zone?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I think expanding your comfort zone, like, I think you go from stepping out of your comfort zone and that becomes expanding it. So, like, for me, I thought this was going to be stepping out of my comfort zone, and I realized have not been uncomfortable once being here. Last night we threw a party for some kids, and that was very comfortable. I love kids, and I love being in charge of things, and I love being bossy. Very comfortable with that. But so I expected to step out of my comfort zone, but instead expanded my comfort zone and realized, okay, I'm actually comfortable here. This is my comfort zone, and this is what I'm comfortable doing, and this is where I belong. Those types of, I think that's kind of how
you in our conversation earlier? Because that's what we were kind of, because I've never thought, because I've always said, man, I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, which is a valid sentence. It's good. But then it means it's implied I will return back to the same state that I'm comfortable with.
Right. And sometimes that does happen. Sometimes you do step out. It's like there might be some kids on the trip here who are doing this and stepping outside of their comfort zone, and they're super uncomfortable right now. But when we go back, they just go back into it, and they're never truly comfortable doing this type of thing. But I think, it just depends on the person. Sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone can expand it.
Great. So that was just, it's an interesting little topic to look at. That is, how far can you expand your comfort zone? So then really there is no realm of uncomfortability. Is that even possible? So the whole other deal. So tell me, expectations, we don't have to elaborate, but what you expected, and someone say, man, it was what you expected out of today, or this experience so far, and what it actually was, and tell me that. So, like, you expected it to be this, and it was actually this. Maybe been better, maybe been more difficult, maybe been less of a struggle, more of a struggle. So tell me what you expected and how it was different than you initially expected it to be.
Well, as an answer to this question, and I feel like an extension from what she said, there's definitely growth that I didn't know was going to be a part of this. I definitely learned some things. I definitely had, coming into today, I felt more like, yeah, I want to do it. I know I'm helping people, but it is kind of just chores. And it really wasn't. I got to meet some amazing new people. I got to listen to our amazing pianist. I got to help serve a lot of people, meet some people from church. And that was really cool. So going into this, yeah, it is stepping out of your comfort zone. And from that, you come to realize that, hey, maybe I could do this more often, and that's where that's where you're expanding your
Yeah.
comfort zone.
Very nice.
That growth.
Very good answer. Not there's a bad answer, but that was a very good answer in that of in this world, like just to make sure everybody out there listening, the world that we're talking about is we fed a lot of people today at lunch that would be unhoused. They don't have a house, and in that world there's a population that some are going to have some mental challenges and some things that are just slightly different. And some people are not used to that because it doesn't look like the world we're kind of used to. So saying, hey, I kind of walked into it, wasn't sure what to expect. Fair answer. Hayden, tell me what you expected and how was it different?
Going into this, I didn't really have any expectations. I knew basically nothing about what would be going on. First time, like, in Temple, really, in general.
And it's awesome, isn't it?
Basically, it's
No.
a little hot. But, I mean, basically, this whole trip, it's been hearing what we're doing about 5 minutes before I'm supposed to be doing it. And so I didn't really have any expectations because I wasn't given anything to make an expectation of. But despite that, this was not what I expected. Like, subconsciously, this was just not what I expected. It was so much more homier than I kind of thought it would be. Like, they would come in, the unhoused that would come and get their meal, they would just be like shouting back into the kitchen and chatting with the people that work there regularly, and it was always like so much closer and more homier than I thought it would be.
You said something and it made me think, like, I didn't expect there to see so much community and connectivity in these people. Like, it was just like a big old family. And that was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I feel like me personally, I was brought up thinking that, these people are scary. And, I have been afraid of them in the past. And then I have experiences like this, and they're just humans. They're human just like me.
Yeah.
We live different, we have different situations, but, when it comes down to it, we're just human. And we all have feelings, and we all have beliefs and emotions, and, and once you take the time to, think about that and take that into consideration, everything just feels more homey and, comfortable.
Could I add one last thing to that?
Well, yes, sir.
When it comes to the topic of those people and them being human too, it also really, spending time with them and connecting with them really gives you the realization that it's not just you're also, it's you who's human like them, and that connection, you're human together, and that's yeah.
Agreed. And so what's neat on so Briley, how we started this topic, and I would hope, so Red, I would never, ever, ever tell somebody what I hope they experience when they're here. But, okay, the food, Okay, laundry, Okay, we do it, the podcast, Okay, I would hope that you would say, what was really neat is everybody got treated well, and they seemed to care about each other in a genuine way. And you go, and so I would say Roy's been on some of these trips with we've seen, and my definition of what is occurring here is changing. I think the number one thing that must occur here is providing community and belonging. I did not create that sentence. I am stealing it from others, but the more I see it, the more it is. And so I would even say in this room, we've all been there. Okay, so so you walk in at your freshman year of college, and you don't know anybody. And you walk into the room and it is dreadfully scary. Junior high in the cafeteria may be one of the scariest and the most mean places in the entire world. And you walk in and either A, you're sitting at the table that you belong, or you're with the people and you're sitting at the table that you don't belong. And everybody lets you know, hey, you know what? You don't sit at this table. High school, even more. And we got groups and we this and that, and you're going, the whole world is trying to find community and belonging. And you go, God, we can relate on that. And then out of this, do I understand completely what it means to be without a home? No. I would lie to you if I said I understood all that went in with that. I may have a little glimpse. Do I understand what it means to be a human and to hurt and to want people to know that I am alive? Absolutely. Absolutely. Does it matter that I am 54 years old? Does it matter that you are 20 years old? Does it matter that you are 12-year-old? That's the thing that we are united on. We are people. And then we have the benefit in the Christian faith is that we don't define our worth based on what I say I'm worth or what others. We define our worth on what God says it is. And he says, you are wonderfully made. And he intricately wove me together in my mother's womb, and his good and pleasing thoughts about me are innumerable. But then what that is cool, that's for everybody, not just me. And so you go, man, I can understand that. And so we'd say, what did we serve today? We served a dose of human. Like we just served a little glimpse to meet new people in our family for the first time. You know what? I've got cousins that I've met one time that I may never see again, but I know we're family. And so out of this, I'm going to ask you a harder question because you're spot on. We're going to stay there. Okay, and I did appreciate the fact that y'all came to show that. So the question that we will kind of end on is this. Did you make any difference in the world today? Is the world any better or is it worse? Or did you even have no impact? What you did today, does it matter?
I think in the grand scheme of the world, what we did doesn't really exist. But for the people we helped, for their world, it makes all the difference. And
Okay.
I think for that reason alone, it does make a difference in the world.
Okay. Tell me, is there two worlds or one world?
There's many, many worlds. There's
Okay.
the world, like the world we live in,
Okay.
and then there's our world, like the
Fair.
groups
Fair.
we're part of, the places we go, the things we see. And to that world, what we did today, for those people, for that world, it matters.
Okay. So would you be able to say the sentence, I think I might have changed the world today?
Yes, I do think so. And
Okay. Yes, sir.
I think I changed many worlds today.
Okay, explain that to me.
Well, building off of what he said,
Uh-huh.
everyone as an individual, everyone in their groups, everyone has their own world. Some people share a world. Building off of his analogy, and following your question, that I feel like I helped a lot of people today, and I feel like heck, today helped me a little bit too,
Okay.
and that was a great experience. So yeah,
And will the world ever be the same after today?
no.
Okay. Why?
Because of what we did today,
Okay.
necessarily. Yeah, I mean, it will. Everything changes. It doesn't matter how much it is. Like
Okay.
a little change, small change.
Fair. Okay, so are some of the issues that we face today still going to be here tomorrow? Absolutely. Are we naive enough to say, no, by serving a baked potato, we cured the topic of unhoused? No, we're not saying that. But we're saying that if nothing else, if your world is changed, the world has changed. And if you gave a glimpse of something, gosh, imagine this. If you gave somebody a glimpse to see that God really does love them, how different does that world look than before that? It's changed. What do you think? Did you change the world?
Well, I'm going to keep running with their analogy that everyone is in their own little world. My world has certainly been changed today. And it is forever changed and my world has forever been changed and it's going to stay that way. I honestly didn't think that I would have a passion for this, ministry. But, after these last couple of days, God works in mysterious ways. And when there's a pull and there's a push, there's a pull and there's a push.
Fair.
And, if you feel God pushing, you feel God pulling, then you got to do it. You just got to do it, and you got to answer that call. I cannot say if I have changed the world. I can hope and I can pray, and I can ask God to give me the tools that I need to change someone else's world. And all I can do is pray that God will use me as his servant to change someone else's world, and that if it's changed, that it is only through God and not through myself.
Amen. Excellent answer. And then we all said that in a different, but like that. You know what? I did nothing today, but hopefully I opened myself up to allow God to work through me to somehow change things profoundly because of him. Brilliant. And then I will tell you, as goofy as this sounds, the last place I ever imagined I would be in my life would be working with this population here. Never would have guessed it. Never would have guessed it. Wasn't the plan. Did not at all what I was supposed to be doing. But then somehow it's like breathing to me. Mm-hmm. It makes sense. I don't choose to breathe. Just part of who I am. It keeps me alive. And so,
you never know when God is going to call. You never know. You're not going to go where, how, but when it happens, you know.
And I want to tell y'all, okay, so your answers are spot on right, okay? But I also want to say, I can say this without a shadow of a doubt. Whatever you thought was going to occur, I will tell you this did occur. I promise you, okay? And Roy will attest to this. The people that were here that you served and served well, like you treated them like they're people, the same as we're talking. We're people, okay? I promise you this, they will ask the question, now why did those kids come from San Angelo here to serve? Because they wanted to, and they wanted to serve y'all, and they thought y'all were worth it. Again, the discussions will continue of, well, golly, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, okay? And so it is, for us who are in this battle, it is nice to get glimpses, and it is helpful to see groups. You came because because God first loved us. That's it. And we reflect that. So I do appreciate what y'all did today. I do believe, okay, I would agree with our analogies. Incremental changes for the good that God does, that's how the world will change. These topics that we address, they will change when all people truly embrace everybody as a human. Yeah.
You can't tear down a mountain in one day.
Agreed.
Bit by bit.
Yeah, day by day. So today I will tell you, just from my perspective, you've had a very good day. And you have done a lot to show that God loves and that God cares for everyone. I'll take my chances if I can end it with saying that sentence. And that's a life well lived, wherever it looks like. So I do appreciate what y'all did. I appreciate when we laugh, we can joke, because that's what people do. We can have joy, we can have community. And the other thing that you learned today is this really cool thing. Every person that came through the line today, they had this cool thing. It's called a name. And they are this cool thing, and it's called a person. And everybody deserves to be called by their name, and everybody deserves to be treated as a person. Period. Don't know anything more than that. I ain't real smart, but we can get that. And I can say that sentence only because Jesus knows me by name. And he came and he sacrificed for me and us individually by name. So he knows it matters. And so do we. So I appreciate it. Good day. I've enjoyed having here. I will admit, so if y'all are listening to the podcast, I lost the hot potato holding contest. I got absolutely destroyed. And so I'm a big baby. So I admit that. But
I won the contest.
We told you they were hot.
it was not even close. I will admit that.
I think I zoned out for a little bit. Actually, I was just
impressive. Like and I didn't even want to flinch. You didn't even flinch.
Nope.
Like the same look you have right now is the same one you had. You were just like,
I really did zone out.
no,
I was holding it and I was like,
it was impressive. So, and I got absolutely destroyed on that, which was good. But we do thank y'all, and we appreciate having y'all. And I think y'all are gonna go meet together here in San Angelo. Great place, bunch of deer, so it's good. I like the deer. So that's good, Bobby. So we will end with the same thing we always say, in which y'all hopefully, and you did, y'all have articulated every day. We will say we do what we do every single day for the simple truth that people matter. That's it. They matter. And then I would say out of that is, do not ever forget that truth applies to you as well. And everywhere you go and all that you are experiencing, you are a person and you matter. You matter. Okay, you are part of so many things, but you matter. And so we acknowledge that truth and we stay in that truth, and we appreciate y'all here. And I will practice for the hot potato deal so that won't happen again. I can't have that. We appreciate y'all being here, and that is that.
The Collage Podcast is produced by Bobby Jeffers in association with Feed My Sheep. Hosts are Jeff Stiegel, Karen Smith, Jonah Fox, and myself, Roy Rhodes. If you enjoy the podcast, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on whatever platform you're listening. Or like, share, subscribe, and get in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. We'd love to hear from you, so shoot us an email at digitalmedia@feedmysheeptemple.org. And may you be nourished for your journey with God.